Highly blissfulness, everyone. It's your girl Nix. Today, I wanted to show you something that I discovered. It's a blessing to know that, every single day in your garden, you learn something new. I always say the best gift in life is learning something new. I totally believe that because once you've learned something new, you've captivated that knowledge. Therefore, you can dissect that knowledge and adapt that knowledge and then make that knowledge your own. So whatever you do with that knowledge is up to you. Knowledge is something that is grown over a period of time into something that is called wisdom. So wisdom is gained from having a lot of knowledge about a lot of things. And I realize that every first light that I rise and I look in my garden and I am surprised. I see changes. I see bad changes. I see good changes. I see changes that I can, adapt. I see changes that I can recreate. I see things that needs to be looked at. And when I decided to do this bigger scale gardening, I wanted to make sure that I was self-sufficient enough to look after my kids, to look after myself, and to even eventually help the community. I want to make sure I start with me first. Sage, how beneficial sage is for your garden, not only for your medical cabinet or your herbal cabinet, but for the garden itself. What does sage do for a garden? I've had this sage for a few years and I've never seen it flower. Never seen it flower. And as I planted it alongside my potato bed, I realized that it starts to flower. And the flower that came from it is purple. This is amazing because one thing we know about the garden is that we need the pollinators of the garden. Those are like the steerer, the captain. They oversee the garden. They run the garden when we are not in the garden 24/7. So the pollinators are our best friends. And if we're going to be planting any crop that has to flower, we are going to need pollinators. And the sage is an ideal crop to plant next to potatoes that would help pollinate your potatoes while they flower. Not only that, having sage here in the garden, you can see that the right side is more arched and full than the left side of the garden. I've got sage underneath the potato beds as well. And the reason for this is there's a thing called pesticides in the garden. And you have different type of pesticides which attack different type of plants. What I do not want is the pesticides that attack potato, which they are called the flea beetles. If I have a lot of flea beetles in my garden, my potato won't stand a chance. But if I plant the sage or interplant around the potato bed itself, then we have a good defense system. Flea beetles won't get to the potatoes and eat my potatoes. If you look at these potatoes, there's no bites at all. They're so pretty. The leaves are healthy, the foliage is green and healthy. It just looks amazing. So this is what I've discovered in my garden. I discovered that sage and potatoes, they are best friends. Plant them together to keep away flea beetles and other pesticides that will, destroy your crop and ruin your harvest. Because if I didn't do this accidentally, I was just looking for somewhere to plant my potatoes. And in the beginning of the season, you'll see that I didn't know where to put my potatoes. But my potatoes were placed next to my sage unintentionally. And I had to move some plants from under my cherry tree because of the aphids, and I accidentally placed another sage next to the potato bed. But I was looking on this bed and comparing it to the other beds, and I was thinking, why is over here so green and lush, and these potatoes are flowering before the other ones? So I just did a little research a few weeks back, and I thought, wow, I didn't even know that. So every single day, you learn something new. If you're in the garden, and your intention is to be self-sufficient and to learn how to produce your, food all year round, this is such a good opportunity to start. Just start putting things together and see if they work. This is how you do your own experiment, and you can actually testify to others saying, this worked, this did not work. Don't take somebody else's word for it. Actually try it and see if it actually works for you. Because anybody can make a video, put it up just for clout. But if you know something is actually working in the garden for you, share it, enhance it, do more of it. But knowledge is a great gift, as I said. It's the best gift you could ever have, is learning something new. And I learned that sage and potatoes, they're best friends. So I'm going to close up this video because that's all I wanted to show you guys. And I really, would like to know that somebody learned something from my video today and they will try it as well. And if you do have sage and potato growing, just leave a comment in the box below and let me know how your crop is looking and how your garden is looking. All right. I live this fullness, everyone. It's your girl Nix, and I'll catch you on the next video.